JavaScript on this page may be busy or it may have stopped responding. You have the following options only. You can stop the script, you can open the script in the debugger, or you can continue and let it run even though it stopped responding. Now it has a don't ask me again option, and of course what you're thinking is if I click that and hit stop script, it should never happen again. That's not really how it works. Now part of this is that it does let you, mercifully, I'm amazed that they did this, the people who wrote Firefox allow us to actually find out kind of what it is. They're not going to let you find out what the file is because they don't want you to block a JavaScript file. They just don't. Now I'm going to close this and not respond to the unresponsive script warning from Firefox because it's literally garbage. It doesn't do anything, and if you say, don't bring me this message again, it will do it again. It will absolutely dead-ass do it. So we hit ublock origin, and normally you'd go in here and say, I want a filter, and, well, you don't know how to write the filter, and I don't either. Well, I do now, but let's say I don't. So let's try it again. There is a feature in here that's called the logger. Now, the logger just assumes whatever page you were looking at the time when you clicked it is the one you want to log. And you tell it you want to reload. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to load the page up and let it show all of the things that it looks at. Now, some of these are things that are already being blocked because they're advertisements. Maybe there's something for tracking cookies. It's giving you an idea of what ublock origin is doing when it concerns itself with that page. In this case, it happens to be Weather Underground's page on Portland. Now, one of the other, a thing I have to point out is this error message is absolutely dominant in the web browser. It insists till hell freezes over that you respond to it, which means it steals focus. It can interrupt you. I mean, this gives any web page that has a badly written script the option of totally dominating your computer and making it to where it stops the proceedings with stupidity. Now, we're going to run the filter up here. That's this part up here. We're going to put in the name of that JavaScript file. Now, we end up with two scripts that have similar names. One of them is weatherunderground.com bundle next, and then it's main ES, and it's either ES5 or ES 2015 in this case. Now, it doesn't matter which one it is, because again, on the original page over here, it didn't show us which one. Even though this is trivial, even though the web browser, written by Mozilla Foundation, should immediately tell you what is the offending file, it won't do that. Now, how do we block this now that we've got this up here? Remember, we had to filter it by the generic name of the file. There's two copies of it. One of them is called 2015, and the other one's just called 5 something. We have to click this spot here right next to the word script because we're doing a JavaScript file. We click it once, and we hit static filtering. Ignore everything else, and it brings up, now the one I clicked, this one says look for bundle next main ES5. Now I'm going to close this real quick. That's bundle main ES5. So let's click that one here. Now down at the bottom it brings up what it's called, and it says block the network requests for that file, main ES5, on Weather Underground if it's originated there, and then except if it matches what you're trying to block. The default behavior is not to work, so I'm going to hit even if. Now, again, I'm going to repeat this. If we do dynamic URL and click anything, it's not going to do any damn thing. If we hit static filtering, I'm actually saying I want you to block network requests for that script if it's that script from that website, even if it matches this filter. Now, I want to point out something. You can tell it to block it all over the internet. You can tell it to block it from anywhere. I'm just going to do it from there. And I'm going to hit create. And then I'm going to click over here. And I'm going to go here because it's a different name. This is ES 2015. Click the accept when and make it even if and create. And then close. Now, before we go any further, I'm going to open a new tab, ublock origin. Click this to open its dashboard. And the filters now include Weather Underground Bundle Next ES 2015 and ES5. Now, let me explain that really quickly. Slower. On the website Weather Underground, if you look at a specific website version for a specific page like Portland, Oregon, it brings up JavaScripts to accommodate for the page. Now, I'm running a browser that either doesn't like or can't run that JavaScript for some reason. I don't know what the reasons are, and it did this even when it was a stock copy of Mozilla Firefox. This is Firefox 40. It's outdated. I'm assuming that's causing it, but that doesn't change the fact that it stopped the entire load of the page when I didn't need it. I can still get the weather information. It just doesn't get to run some JavaScript file. In fact, 2 of them. It only brought up 1 error message for 2 of them, you may have noticed. So what I did was I went to ublock origin, hovered over the logger, opened up the logger, fed it the name that it gave me, which was 3F something something, a whole bunch of numbers, and it gave me 2 different versions of the script file here. Now, and then after that, if I open ublock origin, when I go in here and click each of these to make a change in it, so I create a static filter, telling it to block under all conditions, it added these entries. And the entries are these complicated things that really there needs to be a manual for, but the reason they didn't include it is the people who wrote ublock origin wanted you to use the logger. Now I'm going to reload the page by hitting this button, and it should show whether it's blocking them. Now, this is the new script on top, and not only is it blocking the original 2, it's blocking every variation it can come up with because the website is aggressively sending me even more copies of it. If I hit it again, it does it 3 times. And you notice if I just go over here and just reload the page, it loads it really quickly and doesn't crash. Before then, it would lock it up for 20 or 30 seconds at a time. So, again, to review, a website that brings up a non-responsive script complaint, you can kill off the script and never let it load again with ublock origin. If you go to ublock origin's button, hit the logger, go into the logger, load the page, and make sure you copy at least part of the name for it, and look for every version of it, and block it by clicking these little spaces here to create a rule that'll look like this. It'll indicate exactly how it works, and this is just an example for your page. I hope this video has been useful to you, and will make it to where you don't run into these script errors as much as you did before today. Thank you for watching. Have a good day. Good luck with that.